What is really happening in Tampa, and why does this feel so sudden? Welcome to Jikook Lover, the place where the biggest mysteries about BTS finally come to light. Before we go any further, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe right now, because what you're about to hear might change everything you thought you knew. Imagine this massive stadium in Tampa suddenly becomes the center of global attention. The name Park Jimin appears. A schedule starts circulating. ARMY begins to panic. And the most shocking part, all signs point to one thing: they might be appearing together again. But is it real, or is something much bigger being hidden from us? Tampa was never supposed to be at the center of the world's attention. At least, not like this. What started as a quiet, almost unnoticed piece of circulating information quickly turned into a global phenomenon, pulling millions of eyes toward one unexpected location. A stadium, a date, and two names that instantly changed everything: Park Jimin and BTS. At first, it felt like just another rumor. The kind that appears online, spreads briefly, and disappears without consequence. Fans are used to it. The K-pop world thrives on speculation, whispers, and theories that rarely materialize into reality. But this time, something felt different. The details were too precise, too specific, too intentional. And then there was the location, Raymond James Stadium. This isn't just any venue. It's a massive, world-class stadium reserved for events of enormous scale. The kind of place where only the biggest names in entertainment step onto the stage. So when Jimin and BTS were suddenly linked to it, the internet didn't just react, it erupted. ARMY across the globe mobilized almost instantly. Social media timelines transformed into investigative boards. Every post, every clip, every tiny detail became a potential clue. Theories spread faster than facts. Some believed this was the long-awaited sign of a major comeback. Others were convinced it was part of a secret project, still hidden from the public. And then there were those who asked a different question entirely. What if this isn't what it seems? Because the timing is impossible to ignore. Over the past months, the activities of each member, especially Park Jimin, have drawn intense attention. Every appearance, every update, every subtle move has been carefully analyzed by fans worldwide. Nothing goes unnoticed. Nothing is random. So when a sudden schedule appears suggesting a large-scale appearance in a stadium like this, people don't just accept it, they question it. Why now? Why Tampa? And why does everything feel so quiet? There has been no official confirmation, no major announcement, no direct statement to anchor the speculation. And yet, the momentum continues to grow. In fact, the silence itself has become part of the mystery. Because in the world of BTS, silence has never meant nothing. Silence often means something is coming. Reports, unconfirmed, fragmented, but persistent, suggest unusual activity around the stadium. Increased technical preparations, movements that don't quite align with a typical event setup. Whispers from unnamed sources hinting that whatever is being planned might be far bigger than a simple performance. And that's where things begin to shift. Because if this isn't just a concert, then what is it? Industry observers have started to weigh in, carefully, cautiously. Some suggest this could be part of a global production. Something filmed, something strategic, something designed to reach far beyond a single audience in a single city. Others believe it could be tied to a larger narrative, a coordinated move that connects multiple appearances, multiple locations, and multiple timelines. And then there's the possibility that fans are afraid to say out loud. What if this is the moment? The moment where everything changes again. But even as excitement builds, doubt lingers in the background. The digital age has made it easier than ever for misinformation to spread. A convincing visual, a well-written caption, a perfectly timed post, that's all it takes to ignite a worldwide reaction. So the question becomes unavoidable. Are we witnessing the early signs of a real, large-scale return, or are we collectively amplifying something that was never meant to be real in the first place? Still, one truth stands above all speculation: Park Jimin is once again at the center of global attention. And historically, when that happens, something significant tends to follow. Time continues to pass, but answers remain just out of reach. The anticipation grows heavier, the theories become bolder, and the lack of confirmation only fuels the intensity. Because uncertainty creates curiosity, and curiosity creates momentum. Tampa is no longer just a city, It has become a symbol of something unresolved, something building, something waiting to be revealed. Whether it turns out to be a groundbreaking moment in global music or simply a misunderstanding that spiraled beyond control, one thing is certain. Millions of people are watching, waiting, trying to piece together a story that no one has fully explained. The longer the silence stretches, the louder the speculation becomes. What once felt like a passing rumor has now evolved into something far more intense, something that refuses to fade away. Every hour without clarification adds another layer of intrigue, another wave of theories, another surge of emotion from fans who are trying to make sense of it all. Because this isn't just about a schedule anymore. It's about patterns. For years, BTS have built a reputation not only for their music, but for the way they communicate with their audience, indirectly, symbolically, sometimes even cryptically. They don't always announce things in the traditional sense. Instead, they leave hints, fragments, pieces that only come together when you step back and see the full picture. And right now, fans are trying to do exactly that. Some have started revisiting past interviews, old performances, even subtle comments that once seemed insignificant. A phrase here, a look there, a timeline that, when rearranged, starts to form something almost too precise to ignore. It's as if everything has been quietly leading up to this moment, whatever this moment actually is. At the center of it all remains Park Jimin. There's something about his recent presence that feels different. Not drastically, not in a way that can be easily pointed out, but enough to make people pause. The way he carries himself, the timing of his appearances, the subtle shift in energy that fans swear they can feel even through a screen. And that feeling has only intensified with the Tampa situation. Because if this were truly nothing, wouldn't it have been denied already? That question alone has fueled countless discussions. Some argue that companies often ignore rumors to avoid giving them attention. Others insist that something of this scale, something involving a venue as large as Raymond James Stadium, would require clarification if it weren't true. So the absence of a statement becomes its own kind of statement. And that's where things start to blur. In parallel, there's another layer that fans can't ignore, the emotional timing. The global music scene has been shifting. The expectations around major artists have evolved. And the idea of a return, a reunion, or even a symbolic appearance carries more weight now than it ever has before. If BTS were to step onto a stage together again, even briefly, it wouldn't just be another performance. It would be an event, a moment that transcends music and enters something closer to cultural history. And Tampa, somehow, unexpectedly, has become tied to that possibility. Local chatter, though limited and often unverified, adds another layer to the mystery. Small observations, unusual scheduling blocks, logistical movements, hints of large-scale preparation have been quietly shared and reshared, each time gaining a little more attention. None of it is definitive, none of it is concrete, but together, it paints a picture that's hard to completely dismiss. At the same time, skepticism continues to grow. There are those who believe this entire situation is a perfect example of how quickly narratives can form in the digital age. A single post, taken out of context, can spiral into a global discussion within hours. Add a few assumptions, a few interpretations, and suddenly what started as speculation begins to feel like fact. And that's the danger. Because once something feels real, it becomes harder to question. Even now, as the conversation expands, there's no clear origin point that everyone agrees on. No single source that can be traced back with absolute certainty. Instead, it's a web of interconnected posts, screenshots, translations, and interpretations, all reinforcing each other in a cycle that's almost impossible to untangle. And yet, despite all of that, the excitement doesn't fade. If anything, it grows stronger. Because at its core, this isn't just about confirming whether an event will happen. It's about what that event represents. The idea of seeing Park Jimin and BTS sharing a stage again taps into something deeper, something emotional, something collective, something that millions of people have been waiting for in ways they might not even fully realize. That kind of anticipation doesn't need proof to exist. It feeds on possibility. Still, questions continue to surface, each one more pressing than the last. If this is real, why hasn't there been an official rollout? Where are the promotional materials, the ticket announcements, the coordinated media push that usually accompanies something of this magnitude? And if it's not real, why does it feel so convincing? Why do so many separate pieces seem to align? Why does the timing make sense in ways that are difficult to dismiss? The deeper people look, the more complicated it becomes. What initially seemed like a straightforward rumor now feels like a layered puzzle, one where every answer leads to two new questions. Even industry insiders, who typically remain cautious, have begun to acknowledge the situation. Not with confirmation, but with curiosity. Some have hinted that unexpected projects are always possible. Others have suggested that large-scale collaborations can be kept under wraps far longer than the public might expect. None of it confirms anything, but none of it shuts the door either. And so the tension remains. Tampa stands in a strange position, both central to the story and completely silent within it. A location filled with speculation, yet offering no clear answers. A stage that may or may not be set for something extraordinary. Meanwhile, fans continue to watch, analyze, and wait. Because in moments like this, waiting becomes part of the experience. Every refresh of a page, every new post, every subtle update carries the potential to shift everything. One confirmation could turn speculation into reality. One denial could bring the entire narrative crashing down. Until then, the uncertainty lingers. And perhaps that's what makes this moment so powerful. Not the certainty of what's happening, but the possibility of what could happen. Because if there's one thing history has shown, it's that BTS rarely follow predictable paths. They move in ways that challenge expectations, that redefine timing, that transform even the smallest hint into something monumental. So maybe the real question isn't whether Tampa is ready. Maybe it's whether the world is ready for whatever comes next. And as the silence continues to stretch, as the theories continue to evolve, and as the anticipation reaches a level that feels almost impossible to contain, one final thought begins to take shape. What if this isn't just a rumor waiting to be confirmed or denied, but the beginning of something we don't fully understand yet?